strength rather than speed plyometrics type training. Now, what is plyometrics training? Very quickly, I'm going to just go into this to let you guys know, so you have an understanding of what plyometrics training is. Plyometrics training is anything, for example, where you're doing box jumps, jumping on a box, off the box, on the box. Okay, so explosive movements. Okay, big compound. Lunge jumps, so jumping lunges. Okay, so explosive movements. Low hurdles. Okay, so hurdles, jumping over objects, that's hurdles. So we keep them quite low. So, right, so moving on from there, we all have an idea of what types of training that they are. Okay, we haven't finished. We're going to be very quick. I just want to get this done for this first half anyway. The next type of training will be flexibility type training, and this is lengthening muscles. So the muscle fibers get elongated, okay? And we want them to stay stretched and lengthened after training, and if possible, before training. Obviously, the best time to stretch is after we train. If we do have enough time, once we do a warm-up, it is important to do a little bit of a stretch, okay, on the muscle before you actually work it. But in this day and age, people don't have time for doing all that. They do an hour of exercise, so it's very difficult to try to fit in, increasing your heart rate and mobilizing yourself, and then doing cardio stuff and warming your body up, and then doing your stretches, then doing your exercises, and then stretching at the end. That'll take you a good 2 hours plus. So flexibility training. This is very important for all of us, not just the athletes. This is important for me and you, who are just normal people. We'll do a little bit of training maybe. Okay, so this is it depends on the time, is measured by the length of the hold, meaning how long you hold the stretch for, okay, and the recovery period in between the holds. So if I was holding, I'll demonstrate this one, for example, a tricep stretch. So I'm going to hold my arm right the way back like this, and we're stretching the tricep part on my arm, okay, all this is my tricep. We're stretching this by pushing back, my arm, hand flat back. We're holding that stretch for 10 to 15 seconds minimum, okay? Again, to increase flexibility. If I couldn't get my arm that far like this, that needs a lot of work. Therefore, I would be holding the stretches longer. And they say normally 30 seconds. And again, to increase flexibility, I would be holding a stretch for minimum of 30 seconds. Shake out the arm if I was doing my arm afterwards. Okay, 5 to 10 seconds, little rest, and then I'll be stretching that arm back again for another 30 seconds. Okay, so that would be how we improve our flexibility. That would be on any body part. So if I was doing my arm stretch, for example, this does a little bit of bicep and it does my forearm stretch. We're actually pushing down. I'm going to angle it this way so you can see. Pushing down my palm, hand back, will be stretching my bicep muscle here and my forearms. Okay, so the muscles there get stretched. And again, to increase, you must do a minimum of 10-second stretch. Okay, so when you're doing the stretches, it'll be a minimum of 10 seconds. All right, to increase flexibility, because at 10 seconds, the flexibility doesn't get any better. It remains the same, but it does just lengthen the muscle after contraction. So when you're doing any exercises, when you finish training, you do a 10-second stretch minimum on each body part, which gets you out of trouble. Now, my flexibility, like I said, if your flexibility is really poor, mine is pretty good because I do the martial arts. But if I didn't do that, my flexibility gets worse with age, okay, especially without practice. Okay, you see young ones doing their full splits, and adults need to practice for a couple of years before they can get splits. So it becomes very hard as the muscles, as the joints get older and time. So it's very important that we do this. So to increase flexibility, 30-second stretch, hold, okay, shake out for 5 to 10 seconds, then a further stretch for another 30 seconds. Now, there are loads of other types of stretches. We're not doing, I could do a whole hour on just stretches, okay? The assisted stretches, and you push and you pull and you breathe down, and you can extend it from there. So you must have, so we have to see what kind of stretches they are. That'll be another session on its own. So from now on, what we're going to be doing is just finishing off this last little bit here, which is what type of training is circuit training. Okay, so circuit training okay, is the other type that we haven't mentioned in here yet on the show. As again, just to remind you for our viewers who have just joined in now, yeah, our text and WhatsApp number is 07779481822. I repeat, 07779481822. And you can, any comments or anything that you have, our Facebook page, which is Inspire FM Luton. So that's our show live there. Those who want to tune in and have a look, by all means do that. We are all here happy for questions. So if you want to, we're just going to go on a break in a couple of minutes. So we're just letting you know, is there anybody that wants to send in any questions, by all means that you go ahead and I'll see if I can answer them for you. When we come back on the other side of the break, we are going to be going through the last little part on circuit training. That'll be the other part that we haven't done. So we're going to go through that after the second letter part of the break, and I will see all of you in a short period of time. Well, it looks like we're still on, sorry. So I'm going to carry on, okay, till they ask me to go, okay. Coming back into where I was, if I do get middle of this, we'll carry on the other part of the break. Circuit training. So this develops muscular endurance, strength, and cardiovascular system all in one. So this is, if I was going to do some type of training and think, I don't know what to do, what would be my best bet, and why would I want to do that type of training? Circuit training is pretty good, okay? Because why? It does the whole range, not only the muscle for strength, okay? It also does the muscular endurance, which means you can go on for longer, okay? At the same time, it does the strength and the cardiovascular, which is for the heart. So anaerobic, and now if I did them, unless I did all the different types of training in one go, circuit training seems to be one of the most popular ones because it does do everything in one go. So in circuit training, okay, well, I've just been notified that the break is going to be happening now, any second now. So I'll see you on the other part of the break, other side of the break. Okay, join you back in a couple of minutes. This second part of the show. My name is Leo Nazar. I'm your host today. Welcome back. If you didn't hear me, sorry. I think I was unmuted. I was on mute. My name's Leo Nazar. I'm the host tonight of the Health and Fitness Show, which is on the 1st of October. Okay, the first Thursday of every month. Okay, Inspire FM 105.1 FM. Okay. For any text messages and WhatsApp, please ring our number on 07779 481822. I repeat, to text or send us a WhatsApp message. It'll be the message. The number is 07779 481822. Furthermore, we are actually live on our Facebook page, which is Inspire FM Luton. Right, on the first part of the show, we were actually speaking or talking about different types of training. Okay, we went through. I'll give you a quick summarize at the end of summary of what we went through. But there were different types of training, why people do them, and what's best. We did have a couple of questions that somebody actually texted in, but I will just finish off this circuit training part, and I will go back into those couple of questions that I have on my mobile that someone has texted in on the early part of the show. Right, so circuit training, very important for, like we were saying on the first part, is for developing muscle endurance, strength, and the cardiovascular system. So it's an all-rounder, basically. So it's very good for your heart to bring it up and down, as in for training, and bring the heart rate down as on when your heart rate while you're resting. Also, it's very, very good for strength increase, yeah, and power, and the endurance, meaning you can last longer with whatever you do. So if you're running, you'll have to have more endurance. Okay, you have, like when I do jogging, I remember I'm not the best jogger. Yeah, so people that run and do these jogs, I've done a few miles myself. The maximum I did was about 5 miles. But even at the end of the 5 miles, when people are starting to tire out, I sprint it out. I got a 200-meter sprint there almost, and that's the endurance training. Right. So coming back to circuits, what is actually circuits? Circuits is a timed round on a station, for example. So just for basic exercises, I could have a station that says press ups. So you're doing press ups on station number 1. Station number 2, sit ups. I'm sticking to very, very basic terms and exercises so that people that not done much exercise can kind of relate to that and understand really what I'm talking about. Okay, so and stations can be depending on your fitness level. I normally start with about 7 or 8 stations, okay, with for the beginners. And as we get to intermediate, we get 10, 12 stations. And as we get advanced, we go up to 15, 16 stations. And again, it depends on the length of time per station. In my circuits class I used to teach, I normally do a minute, yeah, per station, okay? So they normally have, say, 12 stations on average, okay? I'm in the gym in town, so they have other stuff that we can obviously incorporate, box jumps, there was a battle ropes, I can go on and give different forms of exercise that you do. So circuit training, it doesn't have to be, it could be done at home, could be up, sitting in a chair, standing up, sitting down. That's an exercise on its own. Okay, so you can actually incorporate a lot of these exercises, even the circuits, and do them at home. Make circuits at home that you can do. Okay, on the floor for press ups, put your feet under the sofa, and you can start sitting up like this. That would be your sit ups. So, star jumps on one side. So we can go and do stuff at home, or outdoor. So the circuit training is a set of exercises, could be up to 10, 12 stations, and they're a set time. And when I do my circuit class, there is no rest in between. The rest that I give my students, okay, or my clients when I'm doing my PT, is when they finish the whole stations. So the whole circuit they have to finish. The circuit, like I said, is normally 10 to 12 stations. So they'll go individually on each station. I'll say, right, you can have your drink with you, okay? And you can, in between stations, you can have a quick sip of drink, okay? But that's about it. There's no rest. So we'll go on the first station, and that could be chin-ups. So they're grabbing the bar, chinning up, putting right up on the bar, and they'll be doing that for 60 seconds while another person is on a different station. They move around in a clockwise direction. So just cutting it, short for you guys to explain what circuit training is. Once they've gone around the whole stations, okay? So they've done, say, 10 stations. They've done a minute on each. There's no rest. They go straight from one to the next, to the next, to the next. So it's just taking them just over 10 minutes maybe to do that. Then they get a rest. That'll be a drink break. Yeah. And I normally give them 60 seconds. Okay. To get your breath back, stretch out a little bit, get yourself organized, straight into round number 2. Round 2, what I do is I normally do that for 45 seconds. And again, non-stop. And again, it depends on the level of fitness of the clients. It depends if they have done circuit training before. So, we have to look at that and look at that as a general whole. That is the clients, are the clients going to be able to do this kind of exercise? Sometimes what I do is for the first minute, if there are only 8 stations, because they're beginners, I'll give them 1 minute, okay? And then I'll give them rest in between, okay? I'll give them maybe 20 seconds rest between one station to the second station, where they can have a sip of drink, have a quick stretch, tie up a lace maybe if they've done, whatever they want to do for the 20 seconds, get ready before the next one starts, okay? And then the second time round, they'll go again, but they'll have maybe a bit longer rest because they're beginners. And the second time round, when they go again, it would be 45 seconds this time, with a 15-second rest in between. So that's how they get to have a, understand of what circuit is. And again, circuit training is definitely one of the best ones because you can use body weight exercises. You can have free weights. You can have, exercise, kettlebells. There's loads of stuff that we can do. Right. So that basically sums up on most of the stuff that I wanted to go through on tonight's show, which was about different types of training. Guys, if you just joined us again, this is the Health and Fitness Show on the 1st of October. Okay, the Inspire 105.1 FM. Text and WhatsApp on 07779 481822. I repeat, 07779 481822. And we are also live on you can watch the show live on our Facebook page, which is Inspire FM Luton. Okay. Just without further ado, there were a couple of questions that somebody had texted me on my phone. I think everybody knows my mobile number. I have a car that has, magnetic plates that shows martial arts, and I'm also a sports therapist. And maybe people have seen me driving around. The numbers that come off from there. By all means, guys, if you do know the number, you can text us on our 0777 number. Failing that, you all should know my number, and you can text me directly on the phone for tonight. I don't mind. And one of the questions was, which one would I think is the best type of training out of the ones I mentioned tonight? Well, again, that's a very hard question to answer because it all depends on what you want to do. If you're asking what I would recommend, I would recommend that for who? For what person? What do they need? So for someone who wants to tone up, okay, and lose weight, which is what I seem to see a big percentage. I worked in many gyms in my life, okay, as a personal trainer, okay, as a martial arts instructor as well. I've hired at many places. And I've noticed more than 70, 80% of the people in these gyms are into the cardiovascular system type training, which we went through the first one, okay, which is aerobic training, yeah, which does the toning, and it also does the weight loss, okay? So I would recommend that for someone who wants to lose weight, someone who wants to tone up the muscles, okay? I would recommend them to do that type of training, okay? So they'll be getting up and they'll be doing their little run maybe. And again, when you're starting this, even though I've said here, aerobic training is for about 25, 30 minutes minimum, again, it goes on your level. If you're new to a class, you never have done that before, and you've come there for the first time, you do not want to go to join a class or jump on a treadmill and start running for 30 minutes nonstop, expecting, everything should be fine. I would say you could still be 30 minutes on the treadmill, but as soon as you start feeling a little bit lethargic and you start feeling, a bit maybe tired and dizzy even, have a sip of water, obviously, that you should have, and maybe drop the rate down. So in other words, your intensity level comes down. It could be the speed that you're running on, or walking on the treadmill could come down to a light jog if you were sprinting, or even a power walk or a light walk. Okay, if you incline the machine, maybe you could bring it down. So these are different ways of bringing the intensity down. So answering the question that I was given, what do I recommend? Well, for someone who wants to make their body bigger, I wouldn't recommend them to go running machine every day, 30 minutes, and then maybe change to go on a cross trainer for 30 minutes, because that will take away calories. So for somebody to increase in weight, you will need to be able to then have aerobic type training, would then be anaerobic, which was the second one I went through, which would be like weight training, for example, could be swimming. Okay. Sorry, got somebody else texting me as well now. Okay. Right. So it all depends on who it is, okay, and who wants what. So the type of training, like I said, I recommend circuit training for most people, because it's own body weight. You can use body weight, you can use weights if you need more than body weight. Okay, so that would I'd recommend. But again, looking at each person's body type, this is where personal training comes into effect, where they have a trainer who they take advice from, who should be helping them with their nutrition as well. Okay, so answering your question, depending on what body type and what your gains, what your aims are, shall I say, will be your goals. Okay, my goal is to lose weight. Therefore, I want to do the last thing I want to do to lose weight, for example, is anaerobic training. Okay, because that'll increase weight, that'll increase my strength. Okay, that'll bring my calories should be going up. Yeah, so calories consumed to what's calories consumed to what's actually used up will be different. So that is what we need to aim for. Okay, so calories intake to what's consumed equals the result. So for me to increase lose weight, for example, I would take calories on a day, maybe up to 2,000 calories, 2,500, and then maybe use up most of the calories. Okay, so to increase weight would be the opposite. I'll be taking maybe 3,500 calories, maybe consume 2,000, actually use up the 2,000, and the 1,500 calories are actually stored. And what do they store as? Then will be helping you increase mass body weight. Right, guys, just to let you know, we're going to go on a short break in a few seconds for our Maghrib prayer. Okay, so everybody got less than 30 seconds, and then we're going to have a little short break. Okay, just a few more seconds. I've just been notified. Okay, so they are going to have a very short break to have ours on for Maghrib prayer. Good evening, viewers, and welcome back to the Inspire FM Health and Fitness Show. My name's Leo Nazar, and I'm your host tonight, okay, on this show. And tonight's show was about the different types of fitness type training, which we went through: aerobic, anaerobic, plyometric, circuit training, high intensity type training, interval training. So people should have a rough idea of what type of training they need to do for what type of a body that they are looking for, or what kind of achievement they want to achieve, i.e. increased power, speed, size, weight loss, etc. Okay. Right. On the other side of the break, we did have a couple of messages that I have come through on my text message on my phone. Before I go any further, just to let you guys know, you can text directly into the office, okay, with the WhatsApp or WhatsApp on this number, 07779 481822. I repeat, 07779 481822. Or you can watch the show live, okay, on our Facebook page, Inspire FM Luton. Okay, so that's the two options that you have. Hopefully, you're going to tune into the show next month as well. This question that somebody's asking, this looks like what is the best for body? Right, for bodybuilding. Now, people always ask me, what sort of exercises do we need to do? We need to do compound movements, heavy, big movements for bodybuilding. Okay, so because I've finished what I was going to do the show about tonight quite early, which means I'm all here for questions, and I don't mind answering any questions regarding training. So yeah, for bodybuilding, compound movements. So certain movements like squat with a bar or some weight behind, sitting down, squatting up, standing up, okay, would be one of the compound movements. Another big muscle compound movements are normally where more than one muscle is actually working at the same time. So we're doing our squat movement, for example, with the bar on our shoulders, bending, squatting down and standing back up. We are using our glutes at the back, our backside muscles. We are maximus, minimus, whatever. We're also using the quad muscles, the four muscles of the quad at the front of the thigh. We're using the hamstring, the three muscles at the back. So there are other muscles that are incorporated. We're using our back muscles to hold ourselves steady. So there's not just one or two muscle groups that we're using. Those are compound movements. Same as a bench press, for example, bar across the chest, lying down, okay, pushing up and down, okay, which is a bench press. Excellent, okay, movement. And again, what does that work? Our pectorals, chest muscles, okay? Okay, it also works our shoulders, okay? So it works this. It also works our triceps, okay? Muscles of the back of the arm, okay? So these bits here get worked at the same time. A little bit of forearms as well there when we're pushing the bar up. So again, more muscles are incorporated, very important. Another important exercise for bodybuilding, okay? For strength conditioning, it says there for increasing in strength, would be deadlift, lifting the bar from in front of our feet, close to our shins, up past our knees, coming up, looking our arms straight, standing up, does our lower back. At the same time, it works to our glutes, works our hamstrings, muscles of the leg. So there are loads of muscles incorporated when you're doing these exercises. So answering the question on what's the best exercises for increasing strength for bodybuilding, for increasing strength, compound movements, heavy, big, rather than isolation movement. Isolation movements are very good when you, for example, my arm is isolated with a preacher curl. So the bench comes along to here, my arms are hanging over the top, and I'm curling up, with the bar, with the weights, okay? So that would be here, isolating my shoulders. Therefore, now we're not moving our shoulders or aiding the lift with our shoulders. That makes the exercise much harder, and it then works less muscle groups. So now that was targeted, for example, on the bicep, and mainly be around the bicep that we're working, rather than shoulders and bicep and forearms. So the isolation movements are very good for a lot of fitness models that use movements isolating themselves. So if I'm doing a shoulder lift, for example, my back will be supported, nice and strong, and up and down I'll be changing maybe into knee presses, which are like this. So we're curling our hands round, okay? So these are little movements which are not isolated. These are isolated movements. They're not compound movements. So now just the 3 heads of my deltoid, okay, pectorals, okay, and deltoids. We're just working the deltoids. So we've got the front, the rear, and the side of the deltoid. So that's what we're working with this Arnie press all in one. So 3 heads of the shoulder muscles are all incorporated in that. Okay, so these are the exercises on that. Let's go to one or more questions. What is the best exercise for a flat stomach? Many times I've been asked the same question about stomach and the best exercises. There is no best exercise, and I've said this many times. There's no one exercise which is the best for having a flat stomach. Okay, I train a lot on stomach. Recently, I've started back because of the pandemic. Obviously, I understand a lot of gyms were closed. Even the gym I train now has been closed. It's only just opened up just over a month ago, I believe. So the training has been, quite slack. I have been doing it. Those who know, I've been doing outdoor classes. I've been doing a lot of personal training as well when it came to this kind of stuff. Outdoor, my house back garden was set up, so we had all the stuff there to do. I think one of the shows I remember having live, one of the my other host, known my co-host Fahad, Mr. Matin, as I call him, he was there with me, and we went through some stuff there together. But now, obviously, gyms are open, so we're back at the gyms. So, not one exercise that we can say would be for the flattening of the stomach. For best results with any exercise, it's the diet to go with it. Okay. So if I do forget, I shouldn't forget, but I do want to let you know again at the end, those who will just come onto the show. Next month's lesson, where my class here, shall I say, will be, the show will be regarding the diet side, okay? The nutrition. So what do we need to eat? When is the best time to eat? Example, what should we eat to increase, decrease our weight, etc. Okay. Those who have just joined us, this is the Health and Fitness Show live. Okay. You can go on our Facebook page to see it live, which is Inspire FM Luton, or you can WhatsApp us or listen to us on the radio. My WhatsApp number is 07779 481822. I repeat, 07779 481822. So how would we do exercises for the stomach? What I would do for exercise on the stomach would be a mixture. Okay, so I could have leg raises, I could do crunches, I could bring up my feet forward. Yeah, I could do body twists, which does the obliques. So I'll be working on all the body parts all in one. Okay, right. Just to let you guys know, we haven't got much time left of the show. Okay, and please, first, guys, this is my second live show that I've actually hosted personally myself, I think, in my 5 years of doing being a host, co-host. So please forgive me. Next month's show will be on fitness and nutrition. Okay, so we're running out of time, so I'm just trying to film it. So summarizing today, different types of fitness training or bodybuilding. You all have an idea. Any questions? Feel free. You all know my number, or text in WhatsApp the office and on 07779 481822. And I hopefully will see you all on the next show live. I'm getting used to this hosting of the show by myself. So hopefully I'm going to, maybe on the next show, I might do another one all on my own. This wasn't too bad. I was putting a bit on the deep end. I wasn't expecting I was going to be a co-host tonight originally. But again, I was told that if you're not ready, maybe do it next week. I thought I'll do it now. So all the best, guys. My name is Leo Nazar, and I'll hopefully see you on the next month. Okay? Great. Good office.